With today's topic, the benefits of taking risks, it's time to assess the quality of your life. Now, a similar stream to this is the benefits of dreaming. However, this is very specific, okay? This is a big decision or multiple decisions in your life, depending on what you truly desire and what you truly feel passionate about. They go hand in hand. Only you're going to know the answers to those questions. But you can't go through life never taking risks. We're going to look into it. So, are you a risk taker? Or do you prefer to play it safe? Taking a risk may not be what you think it is. There are plenty of examples of innocent risk taking that I would like to share with you today. So without further ado, let's go ahead and dive right into it. As always, let's just first take a look at the definition of risks. See what the world defines as a risk. My favorite one on this list, before I read it all, is stepping outside of your comfort zone to pursue an interest or desire. That's what life is all about. And that's exactly what we're going to cover today. But let's go ahead and cover the rest. Taking risks means going ahead and doing something even though you know the consequences might be less than awesome. It depends. Is it worth the risk? Hopefully it's not a heavy consequence. We'll talk about it. Trying new methods, exploring new markets, and pushing boundaries to drive innovation. You see, that's positive. This is an example of a safe risk. Stepping outside your comfort zone to pursue an interest or desire. There you go. That's the one I mentioned. Facing the fear of uncertainty. A lot of fear out there. A lot of unhappiness. Because you're too afraid to even take a risk in life. We'll get into it. Building skills to take more risks and improve the chances of achieving future goals. I like that last one too. Building skills to improve your chances of achieving future goals. You see, not all risks are created equal. There are positive risks and, of course, dangerous negative risks. Try to say the word risks 10 times fast. So, risk reward. There's got to be a reward for risk taking. The carrot at the end of the stick. Call it whatever you want. And in fact, relationships themselves involve risk taking. Sometimes you may say something that the other person misinterprets or takes the wrong way. That wasn't your intention. But you took a risk. And maybe you're trying to play a nice joke, but the other person took it personal. Maybe due to a past trauma. You never know. You just happen to be surprised. Like, oh, no, wait a second. I didn't mean it like that. Well, in all that explanation, you just have to be patient and hope that they get over it and they trust your explanation. It's tough. That's part of the synchronization process in relationship. Your partner has to trust your explanations. And you have to be passionately honest and devoted to a detailed explanation. You can't just run away or just walk away and say, oh, whatever, I don't care. Because now you're just making a bad situation worse. Explain yourself. If there's any misunderstandings in your relationship, it was a risky situation because maybe you stepped into something that you didn't know was going to offend your partner. Or maybe they're going to take it the wrong way. Explain yourself. Give them the comfort of knowing that that was not your intent. A lot of people, they just want to skip it like, oh, that's too stressful for me. What are you talking about? You think a relationship is going to solve itself? It's going to just, you don't have to do any effort. Just, we're together and I don't have to do anything. No, that's wrong. Reward should be coming every single day. Effort. And risk is a form of effort. Maybe it's an effort that you're not comfortable with. That's precisely what risk taking is all about. You're not really comfortable with it, or you're doubting your own abilities. And so you go through the second and third scenarios that could possibly happen, the consequences, and you fear the consequences, the potential consequences. It really just depends on which type of action we're talking about, the potential action here, the risk. But let's go ahead and get into it. Okay, so why take risks? You'll never know until you try. A risk-free life is tough, no rewards. I like that one. I absolutely love this chart here. So much positive, motivating energy. Isn't that true, though? That a risk-free life equates to nothing special. Just a mediocre life until you finally leave the world without ever knowing your true potential. Never reaching your maximum. Now that's sad. That truly is sad. And that's precisely why I'm doing this topic. I want everybody out there to make a calculated risk. Just start with just one. We'll get into it. Without risk, there is no chance of winning. Risking, you may end up better than you expect. Yeah. The benefits of taking a risk. Many people, they're too scared, right? But then they'll go to the casino and put in countless quarters or dollars into a slot machine. How come you're more comfortable gambling, but you're less comfortable taking a risk that can change your life instead of throwing money away? Why do people do this? Well, because they take the easier way out, right? Oh, I can risk my money here, maybe buying some stocks that are risky, or playing the slots, whatever it is. But they won't make the right risks in their life that'll literally change their entire future for the better, making their dreams come true. It's fascinating, isn't it? A lack of self-confidence and intelligence. Risk can be calculated. That's precisely what we're talking about here. Risky territory is never crowded. Anything creative is risky. Yeah, absolutely. Anything true is risky. Yeah, like getting married there. I like that picture there. That's that's precisely why I've created my own book and movie for people to benefit from. So that you'll know precisely what you're dealing with, that a relationship requires maximum effort. That you can't just get by in life by saying, oh, we got married, so I don't have to do anything anymore. You see? So marriage was a goal, and nothing else comes after that. Oh, let's just have kids just to have kids. Let's buy the house just to buy a house and live in debt for the rest of our lives. Let's just do things just to do things because I guess that's what life is about. No. You're not a happy camper. You're not truly happy if you're living life that way, just going through the motions. That's the purpose of this stream. Anything new is risky. If you take the risk, people will follow you. Absolutely. Be a leader in this world. But be a real leader, okay? Don't be like a leader of the drama princes and princesses, going nowhere. That's like going in a circle. You're not, when you're trying to find your way out of the forest and you're limping on one leg, you're all just going around in circles. You'll never exit the forest. You'll never get to the next stage. That's what the losers do with all the drama shows that they put on. That's not a leader. And yes, they do lead those shows. They're the circus clowns, and then there's the leader of the circus. It's just a meaningless show of nonsense. Don't waste your life with nonsense, people. If you want entertainment, that's fine. But you got to limit your entertainment and invest your life. Not just your time, your life. I'm talking about attitude and emotion into that which you want to accomplish one day. Either sooner or later. Regardless. Otherwise, you're not taking care of yourself. And if you're involved in a relationship, you're not taking care of yourself, numero uno, number one first, then you can't take care of your partner. And you can't help them with their dreams and goals. Because you're an unhappy camper. It's mutual. It's a two-way street. But you both have to help yourselves in order to be able to help each other. It's just like an emergency situation. What happens in a crashing plane? I hate to say it. You have to put on your mask before you put on anybody else's masks, right? You have to help yourself before you help others. Otherwise, you're going to be the casualty, most likely. and the other person's going to start. That makes no sense. You're of no use if you're not fit to participate. All right, taking the risk is proof that you're all in. Yes, you got to take the dive, take the plunge, take the leap of faith, whatever you want to say. Just don't jump the shark. Taking the risk even without winning is already a victory. Yes, you'll never know unless you find out. So it's not a failure. Remember, I covered this in an earlier stream. You took an opportunity. You made an attempt. It wasn't a failure. It was an attempt. Okay? So just like an electrician, as I gave before the example, the electrician doesn't make the first attempt and be like, oh, I failed. I don't know how to fix this thing. No, they simply work another way around it. And they find out what the problem is. And then they attack it with the solution. They don't give up. They don't say, oh, I failed. You got to learn from your failures. It's not a failure. A failure is quitting. That's the only way you can fail in life, is quitting. By ignoring what you really want to achieve in life. By not taking a risk. You'll never find out. You'll never find out. Maybe you're too shy to go ask that girl out or that woman out, or vice versa. And you were too shy, so your shyness literally cost you your future dreams. Because you were too scared. We'll go over it. Like I said, you don't want to live a mediocre life without realizing your true potential. You don't want that. Trust me. I'll give examples. Maybe you dream of becoming a streamer, playing games for a living. Yeah, it's well saturated out there. There's tons of people doing it, but you know what? There's always you. Why are you so unique? Why are you so special? That's all you have to prove to the world. It's not difficult. Entertaining other people just like you. Do it. Don't worry about how many subscribers you have, how many views you have. Don't play the stupid numbers game. Don't get lost in the numbers. Do your best. That's all that counts. Yes, almost anybody can do it, but you have to have the skills, right? So focus on the skills. I'll give an example. If that's the case, in the case of a streamer, then save up some money to buy a decent microphone, a monitor, a camera, specifically for streaming. Look how small that is. That's all you need. And they're so affordable these days, there's no excuses. Look at the lighting. It doesn't take much, people. If this is your goal, if this is what you want to do for a living, is playing games and making money off of social media and donations or whatever it is, that's an honorable profession. Nobody can come up to you, and you know who's going to come up to you and say, oh, must be nice, get a real job. Those are the jealous, envious ones. The ones who are jealous are going to always try to bring you down like crabs in a bucket. So don't be a victim. So you can always upgrade your equipment later on when you become more and more successful. Trust me, if the people, somebody's going to like you out there. And even the most successful streamers, they started just like you. You don't believe me? Go listen and watch their interviews. They always say the same thing. We never expected it to explode like this. And, it's not like, oh, one in a million. Don't believe that. It's all about what you have to offer. Are you trying to be like somebody else? Like Ninja, one of the famous streamers? Are you trying to emulate somebody else's style? Don't do that. Because that's a quick way to fail. I'm talking about really fail here. But you're not going to fail because you're not going to give up. So just don't do that. Be yourself. People will follow. It's just a matter of time. This is what we're talking about. When it comes to the benefits of taking risks, the only thing that can stop you, no matter the risk, is fear. It's at the center of all negative emotions, all negative thoughts, and all apprehension. Meaning you are your own worst enemy. If you at least start your journey for your dream job with small steps, you are already winning. Even if it's just, you know what? I went out today, I got myself a decent monitor, Later on next month, I'll get that good microphone. I'm going to save up for this. I'm serious. That's a winner. That's a winning attitude. Or if you want to win a dance contest, whatever it is, you want to become a professional dancer, or it doesn't matter what it is. Or you want to go pro in a sport. Yes, you have to put in the work. I mean, some professions are more challenging than others. But if you think that you can't make it, then take it down a notch. You know, maybe you can be a champion of some other niche in the same category. Or maybe you enjoy talking about what you're passionate about. Form your own talk show. Same thing. Because online, there's a lot of opportunity. The problem is we have the internet at our fingertips, but yet where's the passion? Where's the drive? It's not going to make it all by itself. You imagine a chef in the kitchen. Oh, I don't know. Just toss some salad in there and put some pepper. Wow, did you not go to culinary school? Did you not invest your time in taking a risk in learning something new, something creative, something different? Otherwise, your restaurant's going to fail. Because you're doing a mediocre job, right? So if in order to smash your fears, you have to have a plan. Now let's shift gears a little bit. There's another form of taking risks. For example, kiss your partner out in front of the entire world, tongue kiss and all, French kiss. It doesn't matter. Or kiss each other passionately in a bed of roses. It's your primary responsibility in life to create unforgettable moments, memories that you record with your eyes, heart, mind, and soul. You don't need to bring out your iPhone. You don't need to record this moment. It's like the good old days. You record it with your mind, heart, and spirit, your emotions. Because I'll tell you what, a powerful memory, you can replay it in your head over and over again. You don't need to stare at a black screen. You don't need a magic mirror to show you what you experienced. And actually, if you recorded it, you can't feel the same. You can see it. But I mean, if you actually did it, for example, people watching war movies, I was a soldier myself. I was in the battlefield. Luckily, I didn't have to kill anybody. I'm so thankful for that in Iraq and Afghanistan. But is it always like the movies? No. So I have experience to bring to the table and say I had a top secret clearance with SCI access. Pretty much James Bond stuff. But, I mean, you know, is it as spectacular as the movies? No. It was unique in its own way. Just like these moments here. They're always going to be unique to you. You don't need to record them. You don't need other people to watch you. I mean, if it's public, just go ahead and do it in public. There's no indecent exposure. Nobody's going to tell you to stop kissing each other. These are the moments that we live for, people. It's now or never. It's right now. The future is now. Not yesterday. Not tomorrow. Right now. And if it sounds cliche, it's because you're not doing it. All the haters out there, all the sad people who don't have love in their lives. That's the people who condemn this and say, "Oh, that's cliche." That's because you never experienced it. You would never put down love if you were truly in love with somebody. So that's how they expose themselves, by hating something as beautiful as love itself. We're talking about benefits here, people. And they don't take risks, positive risks. Who cares what people think? So many people get caught up in what people think. Oh, but I don't know. They're so shy. They're so apprehensive, so fearful. This is what's killing your dreams, people. You know, evil has a right-hand man. Its name is doubt. If you doubt yourself, forget it. Forget it. You're going to be unhappy for the rest of your life. And you're going to end up taking it out on everybody else. And nobody else needs it. You don't need it. You don't need that negative energy. This is your life we are talking about. There will always be losers who are jealous of the joy and success that you create. Okay, that just comes with the package. But they're your number one fans because they envy you. That's why they talk about you. Focus only on those who feel what you feel, and you will succeed. That's why you need a soulmate by your side. You can accomplish anything. Now, whether or not you succeed, that's up to you, as is everything else in life. So there's no guarantee, but if you don't try, you'll never know. That's the point. That's what a risk is. You don't have to succeed, but as long as you made the attempt, and who knows, maybe that attempt might lead to another thing completely different. You know how many doctors and lawyers throw in the towel? They're like, screw this job. It's too stressful. And then they end up owning a bike store in India. I've seen so many documentaries about this. They give up the suit and tie. They give up the hectic lifestyle, being on call all the time, working late night shifts, working all day, every day. They feel like a slave, and all that med school, all that law school, all of a sudden it just wasn't worth it. At least they took the risk in finding out. But you know what they do now? What they always dreamed of doing. It can happen, and it will happen, but it starts with you. If you don't have the belief in yourself, then you're done. You already failed before you even tried. Don't do that, because that's the loser category. You never stop. And there's so many success stories out there that they took multiple attempts. So many attempts. People went into great debt. I'm talking beyond bankrupt, and they became millionaires. And that's what a lot of rich people will tell you if that's your goal, to make a lot of money. They say, you know, rich people always get themselves in debt because they have to make an investment. That's the risk we're talking about. I'm not saying go pile on some debt. I'm just saying if you're smart enough and if you're intelligent enough, there is a difference. Then you'll find a creative way of making it happen, either on a small scale for starters, or you might have to take that plunge if you have bigger goals in mind. So the bigger the goal, the more you have to risk. But not always, not necessarily. I mean, you really got to free yourself, because this world is all about enslavement. It's all about captivity, limiting your mind, your mind's capability, your heart, your emotions, and your beliefs, right? Even your body. They want you to be lazy and docile and weak in all forms, physically, mentally, and emotionally. That's what this world is about. It's a slave-like world. That's why they call it the Matrix, the artificial womb. So don't participate in it that much. If you have to work for somebody else, that's fine. But think in the background and the back burner. What do I really want to do in this life? What really turns me on? Mentally, emotionally, and physically. What really is going to make me feel like an electric lightning bolt just flows through my body, my soul? Everybody has a passion. But if you don't know what yours is, you're in trouble. And you need to invest some time to think and feel. Ponder for yourself and define what that is. Maybe taking a risk means flying to another city, another state, nearby country, or a never before seen continent. You know how many people go to Africa or Asia, any country in Asia? Like, they just make this crazy leap. There was this one YouTuber, a comedian. He made a good success on YouTube in the States. About like 1 million subscribers. But then he said, you know what? I'm going to go to China. There's a lot of fans over there. Now he's making a ton of money, and it's not even about subscribers anymore. He's making a ton of money offline. More than he ever would have online. It's crazy. And he just abandoned his American fans completely. Move to China, people. I'm not saying go to China. I'm just saying that's one example of many, too many cases. You know, many people have migrated with nothing left in their bank accounts. I mean, this is all throughout history. Immigration, right? Nothing left in their pockets. Empty pockets. And they still found success. Like a Chinese person coming over to the States and they opened their own restaurant. Now they're in debt, but their restaurant is a success because they're skilled at what they do. They know how to manage. They know how to cook. They know how to clean. They know how to make a great presentation and what to buy to enhance the restaurant's features. It doesn't have to be brick and mortar, your idea. You can do things digitally these days, as what I'm doing. I make presentations. I sell 2 products. That's a start. But it's not a guarantee. I have to continue. I'm going to have 100 streams, educational streams for everybody to benefit for free. Imagine that. I mean, I had to put in hours and hours of effort. I'll tell you the total hours in the end. But what's your success going to look like? How much of time and effort do you have to put in? You got to start now, right? And it's just like finding your soulmate. Maybe you do have to leave the country. Maybe you have to travel across the entire world. But you have to know which type of person turns you on. Because it's attraction at first sight, not love at first sight. Love is something built between two people attracted to each other. And then you fall in love, right? Love is being built at all times after the attraction stage. But truly falling in love, true love, that comes way later. I'd say at least 5 years. And to become soulmates, at least 10 years. But you got to be perfect. Hence the title, Perfect Soulmates. All right. Now, life is often a battlefield when it comes to decision making. So be sure to always take a well-calculated risk. That's what we're talking about here. Complete with a contingency backup plan. Just in case things don't work out. But if you never try, you will never know, as I said before. Even if you have a blank list like this image here. It's not about today, but maybe tomorrow. But you got to start sometime. You got to start somewhere. Even if you just have one thing jotted down, that's progress. Trust me, it's progress. For example, the 120 topics that I cover in my book, I had to come up with them just like a sniper, shot for shot. Every single well-taken shot at which topic I'm going to choose. I just so happened to end up with 120. I could have been lazy and just came up with 10. What kind of book would that be? No, I put all of my heart and soul into that book. 800 plus hours. That includes editing, reading, writing, my own style. It's truly unique and original. Nothing copied from anybody. It's all from yours truly. See, that's my niche. I have my passion. But what's yours? And then I created an online video course, a 1-hour course. That took me a whole half a year almost. I mean, it took me 1 year to create, but the process, I didn't have the confidence in making an online course. I had to really ponder on it because I have content producing skills, but how to make a solid course because my book has so much information. How am I going to match that with a video presentation that's 1 hour long? I did it. It doesn't have everything the book has, but it has the fast food version. Something that people, if they don't like reading or they don't have time or they have attention deficit disorder, ADD, go watch my movie. That's precisely why I created it. So, I mean, but what's your niche? Write it down. Not on your phones. I mean, if you want to, go ahead on your notes, but I'm talking about pen and paper. Old school style. It's different. It's calligraphy's different. It's like a lost art these days. It's so important, but we're losing it. We're losing calligraphy because of the digital age. It's very powerful. Even the Japanese, they do calligraphy as an art form. The Chinese, the characters that they write are so complex, so complicated. It's amazing. I mean, but what's the Western equivalent? The Roman letter equivalent? Well, writing in cursive or just writing itself. Just writing on paper. People are losing that ability. That there's benefits. It's not just putting words on paper, people. It's an art form with a lot of benefits. It's hand-eye coordination. And it's a way to express yourself. That's why my book is so passionate. It flows like crazy. You can't put it down. The flow is everything. Because that's why I'm so proud of my 2 masterpieces. My online course, you just can't stop watching it. My book, you just can't put it down. That's why I'm so proud of my 2 masterpieces. But what's your masterpiece? All right. So, this is precisely how my soulmate and I live our daily lives. Always with the passionate priority to make every day, I repeat it in my book every single time, daily, every day, on a daily basis. A great day no matter what happens. To the absolute best of our ability. Life is literally what you make it. It starts today. I know that sounds cliche, but you know why? Because maybe you're not taking it seriously. You know, it's now or never, but here's the thing. Today was different from yesterday, so forget about yesterday. Unless it's a link in the chain that's going to take you to your next goal and to ultimately reach your dreams, or one dream. It all depends. But today, it doesn't matter what happens. It's the glass is half full or the glass is half empty. Either you're a positive mindset or a negative mindset. So that's why I did the stress versus tranquility stream. Don't waste your time and your energy stressing. You're just making a bad situation worse. You know, the people who are successful in life, they never stop. They have the tenacity, the guts, the passion. There is no is not an answer for successful people in this life. I don't care if you're talking about rich people, famous people, or rich and famous people, or just people who get what they want in life, regardless of fortune and fame. That's winning. That's living a great life. You don't need to become rich and famous in order to be the happiest person on earth. You don't need that. Now, you need it to survive, not the fame part, but the money to survive. But other than that, that's just a standard that unfortunately we have to meet. It would be nice to spend our whole lives just loving our soulmate. It would be easy to even find a soulmate, much easier, if we didn't have to live in this world of chaos. But it doesn't mean that life can't be great. You just have to toughen up and be very serious as to if you know exactly what you want in life, you're going to make yourself happy and your potential soulmate happy. But they have to do the same. That's what makes a couple happy. All right. So if you're one of those pessimistic types that doesn't believe in yourself, you're missing the entire point of life. Any time is a perfect time. Like right now, to pull out that ace hiding in your sleeve. Nobody else will make your dreams come true. So, whatever it is, even if you don't even know if you have an ace in your sleeve, find it. Find it. Find something to call your ace. Meaning, you know what? This is exactly what I want to do. You have to know thyself. If you don't know thyself, you're going to lose yourself in this crazy world. And then you're going to end up in a bar drinking yourself like a fish lost at sea. You know, in the current. It's just it's just a sad story. Another sad story. We have too many sad stories, okay? You want to be a winner, okay? So you have to define, like I said before, what is that ace up your sleeve? You know, what is it that you truly want? Nobody else is going to be able to provide that for you, but that is the beginning of your success. You have to define everything. It's all in the details. That's why they say the devil's in the details, but that's a stupid way of looking at it. It's called being well prepared, mentally, emotionally, and physically, if necessary. All right. Unless we are talking about your soulmate, of course, because, that's always going to be an ace in the sleeve. Okay. But, if you don't have a soulmate, then don't worry. You may be all alone if that's the case, but that just means it's time to fight for what you truly want. Look, everybody starts alone, is what I'm trying to say. It is sad. It's a quiet, frustrating life if you don't have a partner by your side, but everybody starts there. Everybody. I mean, even in our teenager years, maybe you didn't have a solid girlfriend or boyfriend, somebody that you can trust, or maybe you had failed relationships, just having fun, but not satisfied, like the Rolling Stones can't get no satisfaction, a Mick Jagger life, just going one person to the next, or maybe you got married to the wrong person, and you got divorced, now you're all alone again. Whatever the reason, if you're all alone, you're not alone. Always remember that you have yourself. That's why they call it self-talk. And know thyself. You have to coach yourself. For example, you can seek my counseling as a life coach, specializing in relationships and life in general. But I can't help you if you don't help yourself. I can't, because you don't have the right mindset. It's me, myself, and I, right? That's who you're going to start with. It's yourself. So that's why you have to know yourself mentally, emotionally, and physically. What you think you're capable of, what you want to accomplish in life, as I said before. But you need a lot of me time, right? A lot of time alone. It's actually a good thing if you use it to its true potential, being alone. If you had a bad relationship and you broke up, take some time alone. Minimum half a year. I'm serious. Half a year, no partner. Don't even think about dating. Take your time alone. Recollect yourself. Think about what happened, what you can fix. That's not taking a risk. It's avoiding taking another risk that you most likely are going to fail in again. It's called groundhogging. I did my first in my stream, the series article reviews, the first stream, groundhogging. Or Groundhog Day or something. Yeah, it's something like that. It's always failing with the same type of partner over and over again, which is pretty much insanity. And I actually personally know people who are in that category still to this day. They don't listen to anybody else that can teach them something. They don't want to. So if you want to do it the right way, if you have a failed relationship or you never found somebody, maybe you never dated yet, know yourself first. Because a man or woman who knows exactly what they want in life, it makes the perfect partner. You make the perfect partner because there's no guesswork. When your partner asks you, what makes you happy, honey? What makes you happy, babe? Whatever it is, teddy bear, rabbit, then you know exactly what to say. Because you studied yourself before you study your partner and learn from your relationship. Talk to people who share the same future interests you have. I don't care how unique it is. I mean, there's people making lots of money and a living off of flying drones and recording footage that the drone collects. So they become pilots, right? They're piloting the drones. It's amazing. They get some amazing shots. They go out to the mountains. They go to other countries if they can afford it. Or they just go around locally. The most high definition cameras. Invest in a drone if that's what you want to do. Just be safe about it. You don't want that thing crashing in somebody's backyard. And you got to mind the privacy rules and all that jazz. But maybe it's just wildlife. No, I mean, there's tons of people. There's never enough people doing this. That's just one small example. And of course, the streamer, as I provided earlier, that's one small example. You can do these things no matter how saturated the market is. I wrote my book. You know how many books are written every single year? I don't care. This book is unlike any other book that you'll ever read, and I know it with my mind, heart, and soul. That's why I'm so confident about it. So is my online course. So I'm not worried about how many people are in the market. Stop thinking like that, because you're not going to make it to where you want to go. You have to prove to the world why you stand above the rest, or why you stand with the rest, or in a different niche altogether. Maybe you don't stand with the rest. Maybe you stand alone in somewhere that people need to look at and say, oh, I didn't think about that. Hey, that's pretty cool. Or I like the way you do it. So don't give up. Talk with other people. Because mentorship, if people who are already successful, they can tell you how they became successful because they're already successful. They're going to share their secrets with you. Why not? They have nothing to lose. Of course they want to see other people smile, smiles on their faces. Now, of course, you're going to have those who are still greedy and don't want to give away their trade secrets or whatever, but so many people give away their award-winning recipes, like millionaire recipes, whatever it is, or steps that they took in order to invest in certain stocks in the market or whatever it is, or maybe it's real estate. They know exactly how to manage, and they say, no, you know what? I came into this market the same way. I didn't know anything. But they took the risk. People, they took the risk. You didn't. Or maybe you did, but you got burned. But that's not a failure. That was an attempt. Talk with some other group of people. Or maybe try it better this time. You never give your best unless you truly know that you've given your best. Only you're going to know that. But if you don't make it, it doesn't mean that you can't make it. It just means you didn't make it that one time for whatever reason. So if you need a little bit of help, don't be afraid to ask for help. I'm actually a free life coach. I will coach you one-on-one on my Discord server for free. I'm not going to charge you. No losers are welcome. Only those who are serious about becoming winners in this life or getting back to where they once were. Whatever the case is, I'm here for you. If not me, then go ask somebody else. But don't stop pursuing your goals. And yes, you have to take a risk or two, or three, or many. But it all comes down to you if you really want it. So even if it's just one person, for example, my soulmate supports me 100% in everything I do, as I support her as well, equally. Every successful person has their own unique beginning, even if it's just one person. Count on it. Okay, so as I mentioned before, stop working for somebody else, making the rich richer. Whatever is holding you back from taking a life-changing risk that you've always dreamed of pursuing, do it. Start small, but what matters is beginning your journey. Like a marathon, you're not going to complete the marathon if you don't take the first step, obviously. Now, the haters are going to say, that's another cliche, because they'll never take that first step. They'd rather just sit there as an armchair coach, spectator. They like to think themselves as a coach. Armchair, what is it? Armchair judge. The lazy one. Just sitting there, never taking the first step. And then they're going to try to prevent you from taking yours because you're doing something that they wish they could do. Or they want to do it, but they lack the energy and focus and determination to even take the first step. So that's what I said. Your notes, even if it's one sentence, or it's talking to somebody different, a different group of people. Trust me, if your friends and family members aren't helping you achieve success, they're not being good mentors, they're not being of any use at all, because that's what love is. Love is always being useful to your partner, obviously, but if you don't have a partner, then people who actually care about you, then you should care about them. But love is beyond care. You should always have somebody who supports you. Heck, I'll be here to support you if you have nobody else. That's something that you won't find on YouTube. Somebody who's offering you free support. I'll say, hey, I'm here if you need somebody to talk to. Nobody's going to tell you that. I can promise you that. And create their own Discord server and be like, hey, anybody can come up as long as you're not somebody who's a loser, obviously. Somebody up to no good. Obviously. So, now you see, hopefully, life doesn't have to involve dangerous, unnecessary risks. As long as you have a passionate, well thought out plan, nothing can possibly go wrong. And like I said, know thyself. Only you know what your dreams are. So with that said, the benefits of taking risks in life, that's what life is all about. You don't want to be passive and just watch the years go by, watch time fly, miss every single opportunity because you're so scared. You feel like you have nothing to offer the world. You're just another Joe Schmo. All that is negative talk that's holding you down, and you're only doing it to yourself. Like I said, you are your own worst enemy. It's not cliche. It's a fact. Even if you fight somebody else in a cage like UFC style, you're still your own worst enemy. Even if you win or lose the fight, it doesn't matter. What matters is what you do after. So if that's your goal, is to win in the UFC, well, you have to train yourself to the best of your ability. You're still responsible for yourself. So that's what we mean by you're your own worst enemy. Either you hold yourself down and you make things harder to accomplish. Don't do that. It's already hard enough as it is.